Excel 2016, Module 3, pages 149 through 153. All right, on page 149, read about performing what-if analyses. And the first one we're going to use is called trial and error. So stop right there, read it real quick, and then we'll start on the bottom of page 149. To use trial and error to find how many acres of corn will generate $100,000 in revenue. Step number 1, go to the yield worksheet. Turn to page 150. In cell B4, so we're going to go to B4 right there. Change the farm acreage from 137 to 150. Cell B23 shows that with 150 acres of corn sold at $3.85 per bushel, the farm's revenue from corn sales would increase from $88,559.40 to $96,962.85. Okay, so we change this number, and obviously it changes this number down here. In cell B4, and this still isn't enough, right? We wanted $100,000. So we're going to go back to B4, and we're going to change this to 175. And then we're going to take a look. Did we get our $100,000? We did. So basically this is like kind of guessing and seeing what will happen. We call it trial and error. If you're ever going to do this, save your original file with your original numbers first in a separate file. All right, now we're going to go back to B4, and we're going to go back to 137, our original number. All right, now you need to read about using GoalSeek. GoalSeek is it's very useful, but it's kind of complicated at first, so make sure that you read this so you understand exactly what you're doing. And when we get done reading it, we're going to go to page 150 and do it. At the bottom of 150, to use GoalSeek to find how many acres of corn will generate $100,000 in revenue. Okay, on the ribbon, click your Data tab. So if you're at home, all you're going to do is click right here on Data. In the Forecast group, so look at your group over here. It says right here, it says Forecast. Click the the What If Analysis button. So What If Analysis right there, and then GoalSeek. Okay, do you see it? All right, at the top of page 151, we have our GoalSeek dialog box open. The first thing you're going to notice, all right, we have 3 different boxes in here. We have Set Cell, To Value, and By Changing Cell. So the first thing we need to know is our set cell. So our set cell is actually going to be B23, right? Because we want this to be $100,000, correct? All right, go ahead and tab. It says set cell B23 to value, and we know we want $100,000. Okay, $100,000, and then you tab. By changing cell. Now, stop and think about what we're doing. We want cell B23, okay, to be $100,000, and what cell were we changing to make this number change? Well, it was B4, correct? So, how many total corn crop acres do we need to have revenue of $100,000? So, to make cell B23, set cell, to this value, that's just whatever you made up. How much money do you want to make? 200,000, 250, a million. In this case, we said 100,000. We're not being greedy. And what cell has to change in order to increase the revenue? Well, it's the number of acres we have, right? We would have how much more corn do we have to grow? So it should say the absolute value of B23, and we will learn about the absolute values in these dollar signs in just a few pages, so don't worry about it. $100,000 to the absolute value of B4. Look in your textbook at figure 3-14 and make sure that your GoalSeek dialog box reads just like the one in that figure. And when it does, go ahead and click OK. And you can see the changes take place over here. All right, so you can see that we would have to have approximately 155 acres to generate $100,000 in revenue. Right? Right. Okay. Go ahead and let's just keep moving. And let's look at interpreting error values. Please read the bottom of page 151 and the top of page 152. All right, what we're going to do, we can go ahead and cancel this box, by the way. What we're going to do is we're going to purposely create an error so that you can see what it looks like. So let's go to cell B4. Now cell B4 can only have numbers in it because we're using this in formulas, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to get right next to that 137 and we're going to type in the word acres and then press your enter key. And you'll immediately see error values pop up, okay? They're popping up because you can't have text in there. It's the wrong type of argument used in this function or formula. We can only use numbers. So when you see this pop up, okay, that tells you that you have this type of error where the wrong type of argument is used in the function or formula. Okay, so you're referencing a text value that should only be a number. Let's move up to the top of page 153. Click cell B21. Point to the button that appears on the left of the cell, and a screen tip appears providing useful information. A value used in the formula is of the wrong data type. All right, so let's go back to cell B4, type in 137 and press your enter key, and as you can see, it corrects the problem. All right, so do you understand what just happened? You had a word where only numbers could be used because it's being used in a formula. If you look right here, this is B20 times B4. Well, you can't multiply words. And when we had the words up here, it said 137 acres, you can't do that because you can't multiply the word acres. You can only multiply a number. Make sense? All right, go ahead and save this, and you're ready to move on to your next video.